Welcome to Health Oddity, the show that strips away the jargon and hype surrounding all things health and fitness to help you live a long, strong and energetic life. Lining up at the bar this week, here's Peter Ladd and James St. Pierre.
Hello and welcome to the Health Oddity Podcast, episode 310. And we are joined by a very special guest today who both Pete and I had the privilege, the pleasure, the honour of watching perform and compete in the Royal Albert Hall in London just 5 days ago at the Giants Live Strongman Classic. And it was a hot evening on Saturday night. It's still hot in the UK. And our guest at the moment says that they're hot already, just hanging around, well, mopping the floor. Actually, I have to, not deadlifting basic tasks. So we're joined today by Andrew Flynn, otherwise known as the Flying Flynn. Obviously, top level English strongman. Like I say, I think you've been at the World's Strongest Man twice now, Andrew. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Current UK's strongest man through the Ultimates. I think you got the Giants Live England Strongest Man coming up in a couple of weeks, and then I think you've got 2 weekends back to back for the UK's this year. If you're
over a 6-week period, I've got 4 competitions pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I'm going to say, right, when I got up this morning, I was tired, but yeah. That puts it into perspective.
I haven't quite recovered yet from the Albert Hall. It's just tired. My body's absolutely fine, but sleep, I don't know what happened with sleep. I just felt really tired after that.
Yeah, I mean, so in terms of a comp like that, now there were 12 people in that comp, and like they said on the night, it was possibly the most stacked kind of lineup that they've had in terms of there were 3 former current and former world's strongest men there. It was a hugely stacked lineup, and I think you finished in the end in 6th position, if I'm correct. How long does it take you to physically recover from? I mean, you're doing 360 kilo axle deadlift for reps, the Conan's wheel, the overhead medley, all of that. I mean, how do you feel when you wake up the next morning after a show like that?
I think you still kind of have the adrenaline going through your body, so you haven't quite been smacked in the face quite yet by what you've just done. It's a struggle to get to sleep anyway, just from the kind of like the adrenaline. My body always runs hotter after the comp, and I just cannot get to sleep. But I think I'm going to do a heavy session this Saturday, because obviously with all my comps coming up, I have to kind of like peak again and kind of like over the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to let my body recover. That's kind of the goal. I'm not going to be pushing that hard. But yeah, it's probably 5 days and I'll be fine to go again.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, like you say, having this many competitions, and I know then the Ultimates, the UK's, if you do the weekend in Milton Keynes, I think first, and then the following
I'm
weekend,
on a Saturday at Milton Keynes.
Yeah, and then the following weekend is in Glasgow, isn't it? Is it right?
Even that, I've got the Saturday in Milton Keynes. Obviously, that's travelling up on the Saturday and coming back on the Sunday. And then come the Friday that week, I've got to obviously travel all the way up to Glasgow, and I'm as far in the UK as you can be and down the south coast. So that's a nice little trip for me as well. Those kind of things you take in consideration as well, the travel time. It does take, a bit out of your body, but I've been doing this for so long now, I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah. And does your coach, because you're coached, I think, by Tom Hibbert, are you, from
Yes.
Winning Strength? Yeah. So he's obviously a hugely experienced coach, strongman coach. Does he kind of help you with this? I'm sure he does, but help you with this kind of, in between comps and prepping, and then take into account the travel and all that kind of thing, with your training and with the prep and everything else?
It's just general training wise. So I'll just bat off him and just say kind of what I'm doing, what I've planned to do, and he pretty much plans it all out for me. And he got all my fatigue. I've obviously then got to communicate with him about how I'm feeling for him to actually adjust, as any coach would. But I mean, I'm pretty laid back and I'm pretty easygoing anyways. But I'll tell him if I feel like shit, then I'll it'll adjust for me and we'll take things back a bit. But he's kind of
Yeah.
like the mastermind with everything training wise, pretty much.
Mm. And I think, I mean, it's fair to say, I think that in the last maybe 3 years, 3 to 4 years probably, you've kind of been on the ascendancy, haven't you, in terms of, getting into, like you say, the Giants Live stuff, the world's strongest man. Is that fair to say, or is it just the opportunity has kind of just
No, it is.
happened for
So
you? Yeah.
a bit of a backstory. I can't remember when it was. There was a UK Strongest Man where I up to my bicep. I think it might have been 2021 ish. Um, and after that, I had a bulge disc in my neck. So I was pretty much. There was a moment at UK's where I could have like come top three, and then I got injured and I was out for a while, and I couldn't come back just because of nerve damage and everything like that. Um, and then pretty much the last 3 years is where my body's actually done as it's told, and all those years prior I've kind of added to this kind of last 3 year stint.
Mm.
Um, so it's like overnight success, but it's been 10 years, if you will.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's definitely because I've been to the last three UK's finals. I think it's Nottingham, Cardiff, Nottingham. I think in that kind of order there, and obviously seen you at the classic at the Albert Hall as well.
Mm.
I mean, when did you say you've been doing this for a long time now, in terms of like you say 10 years or so? But how did you get into strongman initially? I mean, did you come in from another sport, or did you come in from a different kind of strength sports, or what was your route into strongman?
I was a rugby player.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was living in Peacehaven at the time, and I was playing for Seaford Rugby Club, and then I moved to Durrington with my now wife Ruby, and we were kind of doing a house up, and it was just getting to the point where I couldn't do the rugby training and the games on the weekend whilst trying to actually live a life with a partner in a way. So the gym I was at the time was doing strongman, so I kind of made a decision to go all into strongman.
Hmm. And did you take to it fairly quickly? I mean, were you naturally, you're obviously doing strength training for the rugby anyway, like probably the
Yeah,
compound lifts and things. I mean, were you already strong, relatively strong, and then when you decided to go all into strongman, it was an easy transition, or?
well, I think my first ever deadlift, this is prior to like when I first started doing proper training, was at a CrossFit gym. I think my first deadlift I ever did was 240 kilos. So it's already a kind of a base level of strength, if you will. That's my first.
I mean, most people never get there ever,
To put that in perspective, because a lot of people listening will be like, "Is that heavy or not?" Because you're a big, strong guy and all that. It's like, right. Yeah. The guy I was sitting next to at Giants Live at the weekend was a big lad, and he was probably 30, right? Massive bloke. And we were talking about the 360 deadlift you guys were doing, and he said, "Oh, I've done 220 before. That was his maximum." And he obviously was he trained as well. He looked like he enjoyed strongman, and he was obviously a strong guy. Where he was doing 220, and he obviously clearly trained. And that was your first ever deadlift.
Awful technique as well. There's a video of it somewhere, and it was probably the first time I touched the bar trying to do deadlifts, and it was the 240, and I think I was 17 and a half stone back then when I was trying to do it. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of it's.
Because I remember we had Lucy Underdown on before as well, and Lucy said the first time she ever did a deadlift was like 180.
Yeah,
which for a lady is insane as well. It's probably on a kind of par with what like your 240. Or mate, it's crazy. Okay, so you already were strong, but then obviously it comes to, I mean, how do you find the pacing of like the Giants Live shows? Because I know that when we've had Paddy on before, he says he really, that kind of the quick shows, the quick turnarounds, the events, and then you're straight away you're warming up, and 20 minutes later almost you're on the next event. I mean, does that kind of suit you, or do you prefer like a World's Strongest Man, for example? You're hanging around for hours, aren't you, between events and things?
I'm pretty good at both. So I mean,
Either.
like even this weekend with the Giants, you had the walking stones, which I was awful at. A bit tactical in a way with that, because I thought I was rubbish at it anyway, and I wasn't even going to get 20 meters. So I thought, why am I going to rip my hands up in the effort to come last still? So after that, directly, you went down underneath, didn't you, back to the training area? I'm running back to the warm-up area because I know I'm first out for deadlifts. So it's a case of, right, quick, got cut out warming up without a suit, just got to get my suit on and get warmed up straight away. But then it's experience in a way. I'm pretty good event for event. There's some guys that are on the floor dying because, when they've done the codings, it just drains their body. It takes them ages to recover. I think I've got quite an athletic background that I'm quite good. And at the same point with World's Strongest Man, you've got 2.5 hours probably between each event. Like this year at Worlds, I went out, did an event, come back to the athlete area, which he had a sofa. I'd sit there, kind of cool down, have a drink, have some food, and have a nap. So I'm quite well adjusted to both, to be honest with you.
Because I think at Worlds this year, I think it's five groups of 5, isn't it? And I think you came third in your heat, if I remember right. I mean, It's not been on TV yet. We're not. Is this on
Spoiler.
It's on this Christmas? Yeah, spoiler. But in your heat, I mean, you had Pavlo Cordiaca, I think, in your heat. You had Trey Mitchell, yourself, Evans Nana, who we haven't had on the podcast yet, but I spent quite a bit of time with Evans, so we'll probably get him on. And you had Evan Singleton as well, didn't you? So you go to something like Worlds, and you've got every group is a stacked lineup, isn't it? And
3 finalists in my group. Literally.
What's that? Yeah.
3 finalists. So when I saw my group, I thought, who have I pissed off for a start? It's always the way you kind of get put with, I say, equal athletes in a way. And, Pavlo Cordiaca were kind of similar. It's hard. It's not a good, easy job for people to make groups, but at the end of the day, it's to make it entertaining. And I think with the points towards the end of my group, it was entertaining because it was all to play for and it was very tight. And you had an upset as well with Evan Singleton not making the final.
Yeah. It's but that like Pavlo again at the weekend at the Classic, he's solid, isn't he? Across all, he's just
he's solid,
consistent,
and then he goes and his weakness has been usually deadlift. And then he's gone and pulled out 5 deadlifts. It must have been the highly fluorescent pink leggings that he's wearing. Clearly adds a couple of kilos, doesn't it? Perhaps I should get a pair of them and might get another 2 reps. But clearly he's worked hard on it and he's getting good results from it.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I love always when you do the overhead medley and you had your glasses on, didn't you? Your son.
Yeah, they're not just for looks; they are functional.
No, I know it's because you look up, isn't it, at the lights? As it gives
the light. This is something I think because where I train in my gym, the ceiling's very close to my face and it's dark. So I think to then go out onto an arena floor, I have previously done it, and I can't find my balance. So it's just one of those things that I just do, and it's seemed to work. And adds a bit of pizzazz.
Yeah,
that makes me wonder how people, because I used to be like a member of a Fitness First in Bath, where I live in Bath, and it's underground, and it was like red strip lights and stuff. It was like a nightclub, and I'd be trying to do stuff, and I'd just be dazzled. Like my central nervous system was going nuts, and I'd be dizzy and everything because I just couldn't figure out what was going on.
That's before when we do it. You have to go out and actually look. I stand at each station just to see what light is going to hit me in the face to know not to look there. There's little things that you can do there to help you.
Yeah.
But
that must be odd, though. That's like the pink elephant in the room thing, isn't it? It's like, don't look at the light. Don't look at the light. Don't.
It's a shiny thing. You're trying to kind of look at your implement whilst remembering everything in your training, and then when you get it up, meant to look at the judge. There's quite a lot of stimulation going on there.
Yeah, and the amount of noise as well it's certainly like in the Royal Albert Hall when everyone's just on top of you, aren't they? Almost, the noise.
The first year I done it was there was an axle press for Max, and it was 170. And that was my first time doing Royal Albert Hall. And even from a missed attempt, that was my first lift, but my legs just went kind of from underneath me because you feel the crowd. It's ridiculous in there. I said it's nothing you'd ever experience in your life going to the Royal Albert Hall, and it's one of the best shows I think to go and see.
Yeah,
and do.
Absolutely incredible. And
has it changed much over the years in your experience? Because it felt like at the weekend, it just felt like there's more people into it now. There's more people who actually go and see it who weren't into it like 3 or 4 years ago, or even like 5 years ago, or whatever. So it
Yeah,
just seems like these events are starting to get more popular.
I think strongman's getting bigger and better every year. People, I think sometimes it might get a bit out of control with how popular I think it's getting, but I think there is definitely a steady increase. We had at the meet and greet one couple come over from France, especially to come and see the show. So it's got a good reach, and I think it's definitely getting bigger and better. I get recognised every now and then, sometimes just out and about, which never happened 5 years ago. But I probably wasn't in the spotlight as I was back then. But it's definitely bigger than it was.
And you mentioned where you train now. I mean, do you train? It looks to me like you train in like a home gym, do you, most of the time?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of my garden. Literally a couple of feet down there.
So you're training in because who did we have? Oh, we had John Gibb, wasn't it? Was it Highland Wolf who's up in Scotland?
He built a shed in his garden.
He's got a shed in his garden that he trains in, and I mean the fact that so you're operating at like the highest level and you're going out to World's Strongest Man and things, and you can do all of the training that you need to do. Do you go to like a gym at all, or do you do all your training in the shed in the garden?
So leading up to a comp, I'll go to Tom's gym in Southampton. So like there are some things like a frame. So anything like with a run, like 20-meter run, I would try and get somewhere because I just can't do it here. A yoke or something like that, I have to go. But I've got the stones here. I've got everything I need to get strong here. All the overhead implements I've got. It's just something that pre-COVID, the gym I was at, where I live now, closed down, and bought this house, and I had 2 kids, and I couldn't be going to the gym, so it was a case of, well, I'll bring the gym to me.
And it obviously works for you. I mean, it's obviously it's obviously working. So
I get a lot of people ask me, is it easy to train on your own? And I think it's heaven, to be honest with you.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
There's the thing, isn't there? Would you rather train on your own or with someone else? And if there's someone else there, for me, I'm like, I'm not doing it at the same time as you. I might not be doing the same weights as you. So like doing different things. If you're doing the same program, fair enough. But I mean, who is? Because everyone's individual, aren't they? So I'm just like, nah, do it on my own.
I'm not a fan of going to gyms just because it's just something different now. I'm so used to working out on my own, and I know where everything is and I know what I'm doing, that now going to a gym seems a bit weird.
And you can obviously listen to your own music, and you don't know anyone.
Yeah, and it's very loud and it's very cool, and I like it a lot.
Excellent. So what I think last year at England's, which again England's is coming up as we record this in a couple of weeks, isn't it? I think
26th of July.
Yeah. So last year, I think, did you come second last year in England's?
Second by half a point.
Half a point, just behind Paddy, wasn't it? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, no, we had when we had Paddy
you beat him in Britain's, didn't you? Was it?
I beat him by half a point at Brits.
Yeah.
That got me to Worlds. And even before that, I think it was Ultimate Strongman England. He beat me by half a point. I have this thing about half a point.
We've had Paddy on a couple of times, and he's going to come on again. Actually, hope we may get him on next week before England's. But he goes, when we had him on the first time, I remember he said, that you and him are kind of, just toe to toe, most of the time. You know what I mean? You kind of, it's nip and tuck, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much like coming up to England's with the events that we've got. He's pretty much unbeatable at deadlifts for reps. Any carrying event, I just let him go away with it, to be honest with you, because there's no point me trying to butt my head against a brick wall. It's just a case of keeping him close enough, and then the kind of events, if there are events where other people can get in the way, that's when I really need to push it to kind of put space in between us. So it's more tactics with him. But if there's like events like the Royal Albert Hall, I know pretty much like he's out of my league in those events, to be honest with you. I could get him on the overhead, but then carrying the stones and everything else is like, I've got no chance.
Yeah. No, so I was going to say, so the next, the England's coming up. What's the kind of aspiration for that? Is to podium, or
that's a win? That is to win that one. The events have been released. I think they've been released. I think we'll talk about them.
Yeah,
But
you sure? Yeah, this won't be
must be
going
2
out for a
weeks
few
out.
weeks. Yeah.
But there's the dumbbell ladder we got, so that's good for me. I've literally just touched the dumbbells at Royal Albert Hall. Failed the 120, but I mean, coming into that, I've had a knee issue where my dumbbell's been horrendous. So and funny fact, before Royal Albert Hall, I've been using my right arm, and it's been feeling great. Warming up for Royal Albert Hall, using my right arm, it felt a bit dodgy, so I switched to my left. Lucky
So
that I trained both arms.
So I think at Royal Albert Hall, it was 100, 110, 120 was the dumbbells, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then a 150 barbell in between each dumbbell.
Yeah. So what's the one at England's
80
coming
to
up?
120.
Is it for reps?
It's 80 to 120. So
Oh, sorry, 80 to
dumbbells.
120. Sorry.
Yeah, so you've got to get them all, and then it's timed at each event for that one. And then we've got a 400 kilo frame carry for 20 meters. That's pretty much a dash with 400 kilos.
Yeah.
It's a trump bar, 400 kilo deadlift. Or if you can't do that, it's 360. So obviously you've got to go for the 400 for decent points.
Yeah.
What's the other events? There's a sandbag over a steeple and a stone to shoulder. 160 stone. So there's difficult events in there. Especially with
they're quite technical events, aren't they? So like you say, they're the kind of events that if someone's having a bad day or someone makes a mistake, or you could quite easily get something slightly wrong and anything could happen, couldn't it?
The caliber of strongman in England is ridiculous. To say at a national comp, you've got a 120 dumbbell, a 400 kilo deadlift, a 400 kilo frame carry. Those weights weren't at Worlds. We had an 80 to 100 kilo dumbbell at Worlds. The same weight deadlift for reps is at Worlds compared to a national comp at England's. So that's even before you get to Brits. So
I think the world record with the 400 is like 5 reps or something, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Which is, yeah.
We very likely could see that go at England's strongest man, which will be ridiculous. It would probably be Paddy, if I'm honest with you. But it's to have that at a national level comp. And then, as people talk about the strength and depth in England, it's like, well, no wonder if our national comp is heavier than the world's strongest man comps.
Yeah. It's just, I suppose it is a big thing in England, strongman, I think. And they were I know that recently the slight changes at Giants Live with the kind of, directorship and things. And they're talking about, I know Darren was talking about maybe doing more comps in other countries and trying to broaden the reach, because it seems that, like you say, England and the UK in general, because we've got Giants Live here, and there's just more of a culture of strongman here, or it's just growing more here than other places, or
well, it's one of those things that you have to get in front of the people to them to know, because Darren runs the shows, and at the end of the day he's got to put on a show and he's got to put competent people in that show to be able to lift the weights. So with Giants Live running all these qualifiers, Darren's at all of them. Same with OSGs. Darren goes to them, he's there, he sees people. So if he sees that you're a competent athlete, at the end of the day you're going to get invited to a show. It just so happens that all these shows are in England, that we are the beneficiaries of it. But at the end of the day, if you're undeniably strong, you will get invited to these shows. But I think with the hotbed of it being in England, it's just, we've just got a good, decent amount of athletes.
Because when I was over, the reason I messaged you and asked about the Magnus Classic in Iceland, because I couldn't remember if you'd done that before. I've been over there the last 2 years, and Levi Strong won that last year, and then he got an invite to Worlds, didn't he?
Yes.
This year, just gone. Yeah. So, that's a really rugged, different kind of comp. Is that something? Would you ever be interested in doing that? That's kind of what I was going to ask you, because
I got invited to that end of last year, but I had no more annual leave to use. I'd love to have done it. I literally had no annual leave to use up, so I couldn't go. It's just the year I'd done Worlds, and obviously even like these weekends going away, I have to use annual leave. Otherwise I'm
Mm.
competing the Sunday. I've got to drive back, and I've got work on the Monday.
Yeah,
I can imagine you. I can imagine you just ringing in sick, and then like someone switches on the whatever. I don't know. Like they've got a membership to the thing on YouTube, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hang on, he said he was ill."
Yeah, so even before the comp, if I could say, "Oh, I'm not feeling too well," I said, "You're just doing 400 kilos every week. What's up? What's that?"
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
just
what that
like
is.
start. You'll start like 2 weeks before the comp, like, oh, I've got a bit.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
So even when I take my kids out with me to Worlds, it's like I can't even get away with saying that they're sick. They see them on the TV later in the year, wouldn't they?
So, what was I say? What do you do work-wise then, Andrew?
I work for Southern Rail on the material side of things. It's all like the maintenance parts.
Oh, okay, okay. So you've got like a full-time job career that
Yeah,
you run
full time.
alongside Strongman. Yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah,
wasn't sure about that either. Yeah, okay. So
traveling up
that
to London every day ish, other than Thursdays.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, that works well. Then you're getting you on here. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, because yeah, I mean that would be yeah. The Iceland is a totally different experience. Obviously, that but it's good. It's we had obviously last year Lucas Hatton was out there as well, and various people, and it's just yeah, good fun. I
that's what
think you
strongman is and was when I started strongman. That was like the world's strongest man back then was about going to these places and using the implements that you had available in those places, which I
mm,
think's kind of been lost a bit with the world's
yeah.
strongest man, and that it's all a bit standardized and a bit, used to have the local heaviest stone, and that was the task for you to go and carry that stone. So I definitely see the charm in the Magnus for Magnuson Classic, in
Mm,
which you go and lift the Husafell stone.
mm.
The actual deadlift that he has is some kind of like fishing
Yeah,
globe that he has
they're
there.
big boys, on
Yeah,
either end of
big
the
boys.
axle. Yeah.
So, and you're doing it in minus God knows what temperatures, with it lifting an icy rock above your head. So, I mean, that's a bit dubious to me. But
But then
Well,
last
that's
year
like
they
we
did the
we
one.
we were watching was it last Christmas, the Christmas before, we were talking about it, weren't we? And Paul McElroy was on about it and everything with all like the world's strongest man from the 80s. They were all on. We were watching them all. There was the one from 1984 that they did in Sweden or something.
Oh, at
Where,
Santa's Village.
yeah, where the Shakin' Stevens recorded his
Yeah.
Christmas song as well. And that thing had just opened, but they were doing it there and they were outside. And I can't remember the name of the guy. He was Nigerian, I think. And he's like, what the hell's going on? It was like minus 20 or something like that.
yeah,
And that was Worlds. So they would and
we
before
do
they
need a bit
started
of that
doing
back.
it.
I think we definitely need some of that back.
Yeah.
Going to these places and just exploring it, and
Yeah, I think when we had Terry on, because he's obviously he sort of said that they've, from a logistics point of view, they obviously have it in America like every year at the moment, and they just have it in one of two places, so it's easier just to shift all the kit around. You know what I mean? Rather than
yeah,
so
it's
there's
easy for us.
logistics. Yeah,
It's easier for
yeah,
us fans to say we like it here, we like it there. But at the end of
yeah,
the day, it's a business, and they've got to make money, and it's
yeah,
got to,
Yeah.
yeah.
not much you can do really about that.
Yeah. So when you go off to the UK's as well in just a few weeks' time,
Mm.
the goal there is to win that again and to
Retain the
defend the
title, yeah.
title. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I haven't really won many big comps, so to win that meant quite a lot in itself. Going back as the defending champions, a bit weird.
yeah. Because
But
were you in the end? In the end, was it you and Chris Beetham? Was it? And
yeah, me and Beef from down to the Drayman barrels, wasn't it? Loading the barrel.
yes, yes. No, I remember watching that. Yeah, I was there for that, and we had Chris on actually over around Christmas time. I think we had Chris Beetham on as well because he was obviously out at the Magnus last year, so I spent some time with him out
Mm.
there. And no, that was good. I mean, that would be fantastic to go, and that's great. As you mentioned, being recognised, now because that shows. Certainly the last couple of years, I think it will be this year as well. It's been televised live on Channel 5,
That
hasn't it?
is the most recognition I get from Ultimates.
Yeah,
So because it's live on TV,
yeah,
that's a massive reach for people and for strongman as a sport. I'll walk to the train station from here and people stop me, say, "I saw you. You're in the pub just there on TV." And even families like, "Oh yeah, my friends said they saw you and they're in the pub or it's on TV." So
yeah.
that has now being live on Channel 5, the reach for that has gone a bit mad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and
It's
now
a
obviously
good sport.
And you'll be on TV at Christmas, won't you, as well? So,
yeah,
yeah.
can't get rid of me.
You'll be all over the shop at Christmas because they show all the build up, like the Giants live stuff before the Worlds as well.
Yeah, they do all the arena shows first. So I mean, you get your Brits or Europes, and then your Royal Albert Hall, Birmingham, and the World Tour final. That's the 5 days before, and then you get the group stages and the final week after, didn't you?
Yeah.
The funny thing about all that, I think last year was the first time me and Sean were at Royal Albert Hall, and she doesn't like to know who's won Worlds because she likes to watch it at Christmas. And I was like, they're going to tell you here, so you're going to have to know. And she was like,
we've got friends like that who don't want to, who avoid it like the plague.
Yeah,
and then they don't tell me, don't want to know. It's like it's been like 7 months.
It's like it'll be on again in a minute.
I know,
Yeah.
That's a weird thing when they show Britain's Strongest Man, because you do Britain's Strongest Man in February, and it's shown 10 months later.
Yeah,
just before you do the next one.
Yeah.
And is that is Britain's the last qualifying place for the Worlds of that year? So
no, Europe is
Europe.
Oh, okay, Europe's. But yeah, so that's only a few weeks before Worlds, isn't it? Europe's.
Depends. So obviously, Giants Live pre-book. They've already booked probably the arenas that they're having the shows in now, and Worlds do it probably 8 weeks before they plan on doing it.
Yeah.
So Giants can't exactly.
Yeah, they can't move it
in. So it's just how the cards fall, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've still got to qualify for Worlds next year, which I'm hoping to do. So I've just got to put in some good performances at England's to get me to Brits or possibly some other giant shows and get my way back.
So is in England's, if you podium at England, that's not an automatic qualification. That
only for Brits.
For Brits, okay.
Top 3 for England's goes to Brits.
Okay, right. And then the Brits is the qualification for Worlds and Europe's and the World Tour finals, and
because Brits is qualification for Worlds, and then Europe's is a qualification for Worlds.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Because last year you got Worlds because you beat Paddy to third.
No, I got Worlds because I come third at the World Tour final.
Oh, okay, so right.
That was behind Luke Richardson and Andre Foytu.
Right.
Where I chucked the stone at Luke Richardson.
It's a bit like Braveheart.
I don't know what I did. I lifted it, and obviously I was clearly far too strong. I literally launched it at him, and I saw it roll over. And I spoke to him afterwards. He said, "I don't know what the hell was going on. All of a sudden, I saw a stone." And he was like, "What's that?" Honestly, luckily it hit his stone and it glanced off to that side. Because if it had glanced off to that side, he'd have been down with his head on that stone, and it would have hit him.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a close call.
So it managed to sort of jump over that partition in the middle.
There's only like I've thrown it up so much that it's jumped over like the little nib and then hit the stone and gone to the side. And I've quickly tried to clamber to get it back. That cost me second place, that did.
Oh dear. Do me. And so in terms of kind of like the way Strongman is going now and the way that is there any opportunity, do you feel, or would you like there to be an opportunity where you do this full time, or are you very much like you have your career, this is something you do separately on the side, and it's great, but like you say, you're kind of happy with the way things are at the moment for you?
I think I'm quite realistic in that this is just a hobby. I'm 34. I've probably got another 4 or 5 years, I imagine so, if no injuries. So for me to now go, I think with Strongman, you either need to go down the YouTube kind of route of things, or you need to put yourself out there and do other things. But that would take away from my personal life, so that's more valuable, to be honest with you. I won't get that back. Whereas I could maybe extend my Strongman career a bit more and go on to the Masters. I love competing, so to me, as long as I'm competing, that's fine with me. But I'll only get one chance to see my kids grow up, so I'll kind of keep that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you do seem like from what I've seen of you, you seem like a very kind of down to earth family man. Family, kids. And that's I mean,
it's the thing. People to make a living from it, you need to do like a Mick Trooper or now like an Andre Foytu, where you're winning these shows, and that's not an easy thing to do. To create that stable income, if you know what I mean. And most people in Strongman are PTs, and this is kind of their life, and they kind of give everything to it. They're obviously a lot younger than me, So they've got that spare time to do it. Whereas when I started strongman, I had kids, so I already had that kind of commitment in place, and that was my main focus, is to always make sure that they're looked after in a way.
Mm. And I suppose, like you say, if you're and this sort of whole social media thing and YouTube channels that I know, obviously, like the Stoltmans do, and already, a lot of, Paddy's doing a lot more of that now. That's a full-time job in itself, isn't it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Trying to
I couldn't
generate.
do it. I
No.
can't be honest. I can't do it. I think if
Yeah.
people saw who I really was, they would like me. I'll keep that hidden from people.
Yeah. But you're a popular character, aren't you? At all the shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Everyone loves you at the shows, and you've
that's
got
good enough for me. Then we'll keep it at that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You
yeah,
show too much sometimes, and I think, and it's personal life. I think sometimes, yeah, it's nice to have this is me as a
separation.
strong man, and this is me out a strong man, and not kind of conflict the two and merge them. I think it's nice for me, especially over the last 3 years where I have had a good run and people have noticed more, and you feel like you should be doing more, and you feel like you should be more involved in it. And I think it's been a difficulty there of me trying to tussle the two things and trying to still be me and still being a world-class strongman, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's great. I think you have to have your, because obviously we know people who throw everything into it, and the social media side, and then the family, and the ups and the downs of the personal life are totally out in public, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? And you
Yeah,
whereas
well,
it's good.
it's just a case of you get injured at a show, and
Mm,
then, I'll take Kiliskovsky for an example. I don't know
mm,
anything about his personal life, but
mm.
he's had a couple of injuries now, and if he was all in strongman, I don't know what he does outside of strongman, but it's like he's not making money from shows now, is he? So it's
Mm,
one of those things that I'm kind of setting myself up to always have something there, whereas I
mm.
never want to just. Some people are all in, but no, I can't see myself
Well,
doing
like you say, you've got kids, you've got a settled family life, you've got responsibilities, you've got stability there, and yeah, I think that's
Yes, yeah, I'm happy. So it's the
yeah.
thing, why strive to be more than happy? It's ridiculous in my mind. But
No,
yeah, I'll
no, I
keep it
love
like that.
that. No, I love that. That's fantastic. That's great. And obviously, Neil Pickup has got an obsession about your hair, isn't he? As well.
He
He's
thinks he's
always.
jealous.
And Pete mentioned, because
I did mention it to James before we came on.
he said I should wear a wig because I'm letting the.
This is like the first podcast, like, because we're a podcast for people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. You know what I mean? Like the type of people who listen, or the type of people we're talking to, because me and James are old and everything like that. And I was like, I think it's the first time we've had 3 people on, and 2 of us have got good heads of hair. It's usually one or 2 bald geezers.
A lucky thing in strongman, I think, to have hair, and I'm kind of it's going strong. It's still going well. But it's not hard to be a good looker in strongman if the category is have hair and don't have a pot belly. I think it's about
yeah. It's funny because the lady, the people who are living in a flat, and the people who are in the flat upstairs, it's like an elderly couple, and their daughter comes to stay, and she's in her 50s, I think, and she loves baths like Jane Austen, all that. They have the Jane Austen festival, and she does all the dressing up, and she seems very prim and proper. But she loves strongman as well. I was talking to her about it, and any time you mention Pavlo Cordier, she's like, oh, like this, I'm like, Jesus Christ, love.
Handsome Pav.
Down.
He needs to get the quiff back. He shaves his hair, doesn't he? He needs to get the old quiff
he's got
back.
short hair now, hasn't he? Look, when he had the massive hair, the bouffant, it was quite cool.
He needs that back, I think.
Deary me. Well, Andrew, it's been so good to talk to you. I mean, I really appreciate you coming on. Like you say, you fitted us in the day. You're a busy guy. I know you said. Did you say you've got a heavy session today now to do as well?
No, I've got to try and do like a max deadlift on Saturday down at Tom's gym. So we'll see how that goes. I've got to do a heavy double. So I mean, anything over 380, maybe we'll see how it goes.
You look excited about that.
I'll tell you what, after I felt pretty down in the dumps before Royal Albert Hall because I had a couple of niggles, but that's kind of given me kind of like the confidence now to go out and smash these next couple of comps.
Yeah. So on the 400 kilo deadlift then for reps that's coming up, have you what kind of are you thinking on there for yourself?
I've never deadlifted 400 kilos.
I didn't want to ask that, but I thought that I was getting a sense of that.
It's one thing I have a bit of a thing. because loads of people are deadlift 400 kilos and strongman that are, I've competed against. It's just one of the things that I don't really max out unless I need to. So I've always saved it for a competition for when I need to do 400 kilos. So we'll see.
So if you get like if you get like 380 for 2, for example, at the weekend, which is what you just mentioned, you're gonna, potentially gonna do it at Tom's gym, then on the comp with with all the adrenaline and everything else, then hopefully that's gonna move.
Yeah, it was third event in as well, so that to factor into it. But I mean, I've done 300 for 2 previously, or 300 for 1, 380 for 1, sorry. So ideally, I like to go this weekend, pull 400 for 2, and then be done with that.
Yeah,
But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
how the body's feeling.
But again, that's ridiculous as well, because like 400 kilos 10 years ago, 5 years ago even, but 10 years ago and it is a ridiculous weight. This is the thing that kind of people's perceptions get skewed, don't they? Of like, because you hear of, Hafthor doing like, 510 or 515 or whatever, and you think, well, 400's kind of light, and it's ridiculous because for years and years and years, that would have been the world record. You know what I mean? It's
just the depth in this sport has just gone crazy. And that's when people say about, is strongman getting better? You just have to look at the amount of people who are competing within the sport. When I first started out and I was doing Southern qualifiers at Evolution Gym in Kent, you got 8 people. Now you get 30. So I think there's a bit of perspective. I think it's more the newer people into the sport who don't quite grasp what's happened in strongman.
Yeah,
it's gone nutty. It is nutty, and I'm all for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I mean, like you say, the England lineup in a couple of weeks would go back 20 years to the Worlds finals or something. The weights that you mentioned already, that even the weights that you're doing at the Englands this year are more than a lot of the things at the Worlds this year just gone. So it's
not easy to get into Britain's Strongest Man if you're an Englishman. Tell you that.
Yeah. Dearie me. Well, thank you so much for. Oh, sorry, Pete. Go on.
I was about to say the great thing. It was one of the UK's strongest when the ladies were doing it as well. Lucy Underdown and Becca and all that were there, and we got people to put their hands up in the crowd because they said about Lucy doing the 300 kilo deadlift, and they're like, put your hands up if you've done this or whatever, you know what I mean? And there's a bunch of people who are into strongman and who are really strong in the crowd in that, and it's just like the amount of people who like it's beyond them, you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing to see. Just these weights. So
that was good. That was good a few years back when they did the women's alongside the men. I think that was the first time they did that it was in Nottingham, I think.
It was in Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That's when they did the sandbag toss in the middle, I think, as well.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And you're pulling the lorries on the shiny gloss paint boards.
Yes. love Glen's Ross plywood.
Was that the wheelbarrow one as well?
That was the wheelbarrow one where
that looked lovely.
When no one could lift it, that one. And then the first group went, no one could lift it other than Paul Smith.
Yeah.
Then we were allowed to strap.
Paul Smith's only got to lift it about this high because he's
I have said that. I do regularly take digs at his height.
Because I've watched him doing the stones. It's hilarious because he has to lift the first one like way above his head to get it onto the podium, doesn't he?
Yeah. See it in UK, so I think this weekend there's a certain event where you have to lift it off something, and I said, are you sure he's going to be able to lift it off there?
Brilliant. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for giving up your time in what is a ridiculously busy scheduling time for you with all the comps coming up over the summer. And yeah, it was great seeing you at the Royal Albert Hall. It was great meeting you afterwards as well. Was really good. And yeah, at the meet and greet at the end, you were up there. You had you were with Nick and
yes,
and
everyone. About the 2 Americans I was standing with here.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, that was brilliant as well. So if people are, I know you are you're a private person, like you say, you're not a social media mega star, but if people want to follow you and see your training and stuff on Instagram, is that the best place for people just to?
Yeah, it's just Instagram, Flynn Flynn.
Yeah, so at Flynn Fly Flynn, and Flynn's with double N's. Yeah. So
Yes.
at Flynn Fly Flynn on Instagram, and you can see Andrew and the training he puts up and things, and then obviously in his shed. Yeah, it's nice though. You got the LED sort of strip lights around as well, haven't you? And
20 quid from Amazon makes it a bit massive.
And obviously, you can watch Andrew live as well on Channel 5 at the UK Strongest Man finals, and then obviously at Christmas. That's the
1st and 2nd of August is the day one of UK, and then the Scotland one is the weekend after, which I think is the 8th and 9th.
Yes, the 8th and 9th. Well, that's good, because this podcast will go out on the 7th of August. Okay, so tomorrow. So this is Friday. People are listening to this. Saturday, Sunday, live on Channel 5. See Andrew there, and then obviously at Christmas, watch him on TV on Channel 5 as well. At all the Giants live shows and at the World's Strongest Man. Thank you so much, Andrew, for joining us.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Please do like, share, subscribe, leave a review if you're watching or listening on a platform that allows you to do so, especially Apple Podcasts. And if you don't already subscribe to us on YouTube, do that as well. And then we will be back next week with episode 311. Bye-bye, Andrew.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye, Mr. Peter Lant.
Ta-ra.
And we'll see you later. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Health Odyssey with Peter Lant and James St. Pierre. To get your regular fix of hype-free health, you can subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your favorite podcasts. You can find out more on today's and other topics at healthodyssey.com, or find us on Facebook or Instagram by searching for Health Odyssey.